Hey guys, it's Psychosis here, and today I'm giving you another book review since I finally finished a book since I haven't been reading very much. But today I'll be reviewing a book that doesn't really need an introduction in terms of the world of sci-fi, and that is Dune by Frank Herbert. And yeah, I bought this used at a book auction. As you can see, it's kind of a rough copy, but I was happy to get it. I've been really wanting to read this book since I fell in love with the movies. And yeah, so yeah, today I'll be reviewing it. And to start off with, this book, as you can see, it's pretty big. This book is like, this copy is 794 pages, and with the appendix, it's a little over 800 and stuff at the end. Yeah. So yeah, it's a big book, but surprisingly, it's easy to read. Just the formatting of the book, at least this copy for me, was a lot less dense text. And plus, I was just really into it. I'll just spoil that quick. I was really into this book. I mean, I was already going into it thinking I was going to like it because I love the newer movies. Dune Part 1 and Part 2. That's why I wanted to read this book. I got into watching the movies and I wanted to see how the book is. And yeah. Yeah, to start off with, this book has some big brain elements, just the way it's written. There's good writing. Frank Herbert's writing and stuff. I'd say it's really good. It's not Solaris level big brain, but very few books are gonna be like that. And yeah, it's really cool. And there's like elements of like ecology and stuff. A lot of emphasis on ecology, especially in the beginning first half of this book. They talk a lot about ecology and stuff and the dream of the native people on the planet in this book. Their dream is to make the desert planet of Arrakis a haven, basically, in some capacity if they're able to. And yeah, and so if you don't know the synopsis of this book, so what happens is it's set thousands of years in the future, like 10,000 years in the future. Humanity's in the stars, and there's these different houses, political houses. There's all that. There's emphasis on a lot of economical things and corporations and that. The Choam Corporation basically just about runs everything. But anyways, there's these political houses, and one of them is called House Atreides, and they rule from this watery planet called Caladan. And yeah, and the leader, his name is Duke Leto, and he has a concubine who's basically his wife named Jessica, and they have a son named Paul Atreides. And yeah, House Atreides, Paul Atreides. But yeah, so Duke Leto Atreides is the Duke, and he gets orders from the Emperor of this galactic empire of humanity in the future to move to this desert planet called Arrakis. And on this desert planet of Arrakis, there's this stuff called the spice, and it's like how they travel the stars and stuff. It's like the most valuable thing, but it only comes from this desert planet. So they think that it's like a great deal, so they basically move their entire house to this desert planet. But then it turns out that it was a secret plan by the Emperor and this other house, the enemy house or whatever, the Harkonnens, to like get rid of the Atreides. So then the Atreides get betrayed by the Harkonnen and seek the Sardaukar. There's a secret hidden legions of Sardaukar within the Harkonnens. And the Sardaukar are like the Emperor's personal soldiers, basically. They're like the elite soldiers. So they basically wipe out House Atreides, but Duke Leto dies. Basically, nearly everybody in the house dies. And then Paul survives and his mom. And then they go in the desert and they meet the Fremen, who are like the native people and stuff. And then his mom gets him to follow the so-called prophecy for the Muad'Dib, basically. So the whole book then is just Paul becoming this Muad'Dib, this religious figure who's prophesized to become like this religious figure and lead the Fremen to salvation, basically. And he uses that also as a method, so that he becomes more of this big figure to get revenge for what the Harkonnens did to him and what the Emperor did, because it was all the Emperor's plan too. to get revenge and to restore his house and get power again. And yeah, it's really good. Like I said, there's ecology, politics. There's a whole lot of stuff in this book. It's way different than the movies. It's not as action based as the movies are. The book tries to shy away from that. It kind of has more of a structure to how Game of Thrones is, where it's more dialogue and stuff. But the way it is written, it's really cool. It shifts. It's in this third person perspective, but it like can shift between the. It's written in a way where it shifts between the different characters like seamlessly, and it doesn't announce it. It just happens, but you're able to pick up on it really quick. It's really cool. And yeah, like I said, it's not as action based. It shies away from it. And like the movies, a lot of scenes in this are way different and stuff. In a way, I actually like this way better than the movies, actually. Like, this was more exciting, even though it wasn't as action based. Like, for example, in the final end of the book and the final battle, you could guess, it kind of shies away from the action and stuff. And that, whereas in the movie, that was like the main focus. And yeah. And actually, in some ways, I actually like the beginning of this book better than the end. Like, people like the second movie better than the first movie, but the first half to me was in a lot of ways more enjoyable to me than the second half. Although I will say the Baron, the leader of the Harkonnens, he's a freaking weirdo in this book. Like, definitely a character that I was glad died. And yeah, and it's kind of cool because, like I said, there's a lot of like dialogue focus this book. The way the dialogue is, I can see that how this book inspired many writers, including George R. R. Martin. Like the way it's written and stuff. Jessica is basically like almost an inspiration to like how Catherine Stark is, just the way she talks and that, and has inner dialogue with herself, monologue with herself, I should say, not dialogue, but yeah, it's just really good, and I can tell George R. R. Martin and other people got inspired. Because this book is fantastic, though. This is probably like one of the most influential sci-fi books ever written. And normally when some people say that, it's like, oh, it's just probably overhyped. But no, this book deserves all the hype. It was really good. I mean, there's a small bits that drag on, but that's to be expected in a book that's almost 800 pages long. But the way that it's formatted, I was able to read through pretty quick. And yeah, it was just really good. And I thought I was gonna not like it though, because it's set on this desert planet Arrakis with the Fremen people. They're more Middle Eastern people. There's a lot of Middle Eastern influence in this book with how the empire is, with how the peoples are. I thought I was gonna not like it because I was like, oh, it's more Muslim, but no, it was actually kind of cool, actually, fun to read, I guess. And yeah, this book was great. And yeah, I kind of spoiled it though. It's not as big brain as Solaris. I like Solaris. I will say I still like Solaris way more than this book, but I still really love this book. Like, if in the future, if I were to find this, decide to reread this, I would. And yeah, so yeah, it's not as much as Solaris, but it's really hard to beat Solaris because I would put Solaris as one of the top 5 books I've ever written. I wouldn't say it's my favorite one, but it's definitely within the top 5. But yeah, this one is definitely in like would be a top 25 book I ever read. It's really good, really influential. It's even inspired many people, whether you wanted to be inspired by it or not. Even I've noted things that I've got inspired in my book that I've been writing. I, Elements that I thought I came up with, they're not exactly unique because this book did it. Frank Herbert did it all the way in the 60s. And yeah, this book kind of really spiraled the whole modern sci-fi. Modern sci-fi wouldn't exist without this book. Just the way the writing is and that, and concepts. Because sci-fi in the past versus now is way different. This book was like the bridge. And yeah, most influential sci-fi book. It's very good. As you can see, the artwork on this copy is the best. This copy is rough, but I just wanted to read this book. I bought it for like $4. I just really wanted to read this book, and I'm glad I did. Because I love the movies. I love the book even more. This book is really good. And yeah, I really thought I would be able to say more about it. I feel like I didn't say a lot about it, but it's just a really good book. Yeah, a lot of characters, a lot of fun things, a lot of world building. This is a pretty complex world for one book. Like, he did all this in like the 60s and wrote all this stuff. And this is just the first book. There's like 6 main books. And that, yeah, there's like 6 main books and like many other, probably like over 100 like little sub books about events just within this world that his son basically wrote other people. But because I don't think he finished the series. I think he like died before he could finish writing it, all of them. But yeah, this is the first book. People say this is the best one. I haven't read any other ones yet. I might have to though. And it's funny because the later books aren't as big as this one. Like, this book is just a chunker. But yeah, really good. Inspired, basically the most influential sci-fi book, or among one of them. Basically, this what created modern sci-fi, basically, or what we think of sci-fi. And yeah, even was inspired stuff like Star Wars. So yeah, pretty cool. And I really love this book. Like I said, 9 out of 10. Definitely read the book. Can't vouch for the other ones because I haven't read them yet. But yeah, Dune is a fantastic book. It's not my favorite sci-fi book I've ever read, but it is certainly up there. And yeah, 9 out of 10. Just absolutely fantastic book, in my opinion. And yeah. And also, is it as, in my personal taste, is it as good as Song of Fire, the series I'm in the middle of reading? No, but you can tell how this book inspired that too, indirectly. George R. R. Martin. But yeah, it's a fantastic book. Highly recommend reading if you haven't. If you do read sci-fi. I know not everyone reads sci-fi, but I'm mainly a fantasy sci-fi reader, so this is the stuff I read, and I would highly recommend this book. And yeah, so that's my review of Dune by Frank Herbert. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And I'll try to make more videos. I've been wanting to do a lot of album reviews. I just haven't been feeling like listening to metal or music much lately. I've been kind of out of it. And trying to read again, get back in the groove of reading, because I got a lot of books that I've been needing to read. And I haven't been reading them. And I still got to finish a Song Ice and Fire, or what is up out there for Song Ice and Fire, because George R. R. Martin hasn't finished the series and it's been a long time. And I don't know if he'll ever write book 6, but yeah. Anyways, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you have any suggestions for books for me to read, say them down in the comments, I guess, because I like reading new books. And yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.